Tensions are rising again around Taiwan. Taiwan has deployed Coast Guard vessels in response to a new Chinese maritime operation conducted east of the island. The move comes after China announced what it described as a special law enforcement mission in nearby waters. The operation has quickly drawn attention across the region because it follows growing tensions involving China, Japan, and the Philippines. While no military confrontation has occurred, the latest developments highlight the increasingly complex competition taking shape in the waters surrounding Taiwan. The latest developments began when Chinese authorities announced a special maritime law enforcement operation east of Taiwan. According to Chinese officials, the operation was designed to protect China's maritime rights and interests. Chinese Coast Guard vessels were deployed into waters that Beijing considers strategically important. China argued that the mission was both legal and necessary. However, Taiwan viewed the operation very differently. Taiwanese authorities immediately began monitoring Chinese vessel movements and assessing the situation. The operation quickly became another source of tension between Beijing and Taipei. Taiwan did not wait long to react. The Taiwan Coast Guard dispatched patrol vessels to monitor Chinese ships operating near the area. Officials said the deployment was intended to safeguard Taiwan's maritime interests and maintain awareness of developments at sea. Reports indicate that vessels from both sides exchanged radio communications as they monitored each other's movements. Although the situation remained peaceful, the encounter demonstrated how quickly tensions can emerge around Taiwan. For Taiwan, responding to Chinese activity is not simply about one operation. It is also about demonstrating that it will continue monitoring and defending what it considers its territorial waters and maritime interests. To understand why this incident matters, it is important to look at geography. Most international attention focuses on the Taiwan Strait, the narrow body of water separating Taiwan from mainland China. But this operation took place east of Taiwan. That area provides direct access to the Pacific Ocean and serves as an important route for commercial shipping and military activity. For China, these waters are strategically valuable because they provide access beyond what military planners often call the first island chain. For Taiwan and its partners, these waters are equally important because they help maintain connections with the wider Pacific region. This means even small maritime operations can have larger strategic implications. The operation did not happen in isolation. It came shortly after Japan and the Philippines announced plans to hold maritime boundary discussions involving waters near Taiwan. Beijing strongly objected to those discussions. Chinese officials argued that the talks affected areas connected to China's territorial claims. Many analysts believe China's operation was intended to send a signal not only to Taiwan, but also to Japan and the Philippines. In other words, the operation was about more than a single maritime dispute. It was also about demonstrating China's opposition to regional cooperation that Beijing views as challenging its interests. The latest standoff reflects broader changes taking place across the Indo-Pacific. Japan and the Philippines have expanded security cooperation. The United States continues to strengthen ties with regional partners. Taiwan remains a major focus of regional security discussions. Meanwhile, China is increasing both its military and Coast Guard presence in nearby waters. As these trends continue, maritime encounters are becoming more frequent. What once appeared to be isolated incidents are increasingly connected to a larger competition over influence and security in East Asia. One important aspect of this story is China's use of Coast Guard ships rather than naval warships. This approach allows Beijing to assert its claims while reducing the risk of a direct military confrontation. Coast Guard operations occupy a gray area between diplomacy and military action. China has used similar tactics in the South China Sea and East China Sea for years. By relying on law enforcement vessels, Beijing can maintain pressure while avoiding the appearance of outright military escalation. That makes these operations especially difficult for neighboring countries to respond to.